Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing my July TBR using deck of TBR as usual. Before we jump into picking my TBR / replacing the things that need to be replaced, we need to touch base on last month, and I actually did really well. So the first one was hardcover, and the book that I actually had originally was When You Get the Chance, but someone that I trust their opinion very much on Instagram explained some things that were in that book that I knew I was not going to enjoy and that were honestly pretty problematic. So I chose to go with this one instead, which is She Drives Me Crazy, which was another LGBTQIA, clearly a hardcover from the library. So I read that. For beautiful book, I did read Love in Color. For part of a series, I listened to the audiobook of The Galaxy and the Ground Within. This was absolutely lovely. And then for short stories and essays, so I am halfway through this. I have about 2 hours of the audiobook left, and as of filming, it is the 27th? Yes, the 27th. So I have 3 more days and I will absolutely finish this. So I am not even slightly concerned. I will probably listen to some more of this afternoon, but definitely just between my driving back and forth to drop my kid off with his grandparents, I will get this finished. So we're counting that. Then for the letter D, I read Detransition Baby, which this was incredible. And then the last one was my Dart Attack pick, which got me a book with a place in the title. And for that one, I chose The Undocumented Americans. I am 20 pages into this. I'm currently reading this, and it actually reads a lot faster than I would have expected it to. So I'm not sure I'm going to actually finish it this month, but I've definitely started it, and by the end of the month I will be a good way through this, if not having finished it. So I'm going to count this as a win. Even though these two are not totally completed, I still have started them and will be most of the way to completing them before June ends. It was a very good reading month. I read other books on top of these. Yeah, it was a good reading month. So with that said, that means that I get to replace a prompt on here. And I did already pick out, I'm going to pick between 2. I'm still deciding, but as for which one I'm going to replace, I know that one without a doubt. Shh, don't tell my husband I'm replacing his pick, because I just don't want that this month. So we're taking Justin's pick off. I will be nice and put it back into this bag so it does have the opportunity to come back up. But I am going to replace this with, so I have 2 options that I am deciding between. The first one is BookTube Spin, which is something I just discovered last night, where you have like a list and then a booktuber. I will put his channel down below. I am blanking on his name at this moment. His channel is his name, so I'll put his channel down below. He does a spin, and then that number that corresponds to the book on your list is the one that you have to read, and you have like 2 to 3 months to read it. So I do want to put this on there, if not to come up this month and read the book that mine selected for this month, then to have it on there for future options. Yeah, but also from my most anticipated list, because I have so many books that I pre-ordered that are coming out in July and August. July, I think I have at least 3, so this would be fantastic. I think what I'm going to do is just this number and then pick this one. BookTube Spin is going on the board. There we go. So I'm going to put most anticipated back in the bag so it will have a chance to come back up. And now we are going to, well, no, one more housekeeping. We have to replace the Joker book. So funny enough, Tail Chaser Song is gone. I got rid of that book because I was never gonna read it. Even if it came up, I was gonna grudgingly read it. So I replaced it with a different book in here. Oh no. But this month, we're back to this one again. Lee Smith, Annie Dillard, and the Hollins Group. This is a book that, if it comes up, I will give it a good go, but I have a feeling I'll probably end up DNFing it. Because I think I tried to read it before and it's super dry, and it's more one of those things that I just have on my shelf as like alumni pride. I don't know. But it's there. So if we get the Joker, then that's what we're going to be reading. Okay, so if you're not familiar with the rules, I will link the playlist down below where you can watch some previous ones where I talk about the rules. I'm not going to go over that in this video because frankly, I'm not sure I totally remember all the rules sometimes, so we're going to wing it. I'm going to be doing 6 spins again this month. Spins? Why are we talking about spins? Because we just put the booktube spin thing on there. I'm going to do 6 card draws this month, like usual. And yeah, let's go ahead and get started and see what we get to read for this month. All right, I'm back with my original Star Wars deck. So let me give it a good shuffle and see what it has to offer this month. So our first card is the 6 of Spades. So spades. So a foiled cover. What do I have that has foiled cover? Let's see. All right, so for foiled cover, I'm going to be reading Dunbar by Edward St. Aubin. By Edward St. Aubin. This is the only one I think I have left from the Hogarth Shakespeare edition. And that does mean that it's going to be kind of like a twofer, because anytime I read these, I also read the accompanying Shakespeare play. So I will be listening to the full cast play of this, and if I can find the audiobook of Dunbar, I will also be listening to it. But I'll be adding these 2 onto my TBR. This is the one, obviously, that has the foil on it. But yes, let's put that back into the deck. And where did I even put that? Okay, I found it. Put that in this little pot back here. I should move this where I can actually reach it. So we'll put that in there. Let's replace it with Animal on the cover. All right. So I had more foiled books than I thought I was going to have, honestly. I thought that the only one I had was a Snowfall in Silver, and it's summer, and I don't really want to read a book about snow. So, yeah. Next we have 7 of Diamonds. So 7 of Diamonds is from my Libby app. And I will have to check and see. I may actually already have something checked out from my Libby app. But if not, I do think there's something coming up that would be good for this. Editing Jenny here. So I was about to say that the book I'm going to use for this is How the One-Armed Sister Sweeps Her House, which is the last book on the Women's Prize shortlist that I haven't read. However, in between filming this and now editing it, I have gotten a little bit more information about the content warnings for that book, and I was already on the fence because I had heard it was kind of a difficult book to read subject matter wise, and based on the content warnings, I just don't feel comfortable reading that one. So instead, I'm going to be listening to the audiobook of Under the Rainbow, which is a book I recently hauled from my local used bookstore, and I saw that the audiobook is on my Libby app. And I'm really eager to listen to this one because I have seen some people that I really trust who have given this some good reviews, and I think I originally heard about it Again, on Simon from Savage Reads channel, I get a lot of my like literary fiction recommendations from him. So, since the audiobook is on Libby, I will be listening to that. And I'm throwing prompts everywhere. Alright, so we're going to replace that one. That is hilarious. We're replacing the Libby one with Hoopla, which is another one of my library's apps. So, let's put this in here. We actually haven't gotten many face cards recently, which, I don't know, that just seems weird to me. We've gotten a lot of number cards. And we have a 3 of clubs. So 3 of clubs is set in the future. This is perfect. So I don't have the book yet, but I am absolutely going to be reading the new Becky Chambers book, which is, well, I had to look up the name, which is embarrassing because this is honestly my most anticipated book for the entire year. And it is called A Psalms for Wild Built, which is, of course, the new Becky Chambers book. So it is definitely set in the future, and I am stoked to read that book. So that's what we're going to be reading. All right, let's replace that prompt with, oh, this is a new one I just added. So this one is an unhauled book. So some of the books that I have unhauled from my unread shelf, but haven't actually read, I put this in there so that if I got it, then it would encourage me to check them out of the library and read them or give them a second chance. So, not my favorite prompt, but definitely a good opportunity to use my library and try out one of those books that I decided I didn't really think I was interested in. So, we're going to shuffle them up and see what we get. And we have a 6 of diamonds. So 6 of diamonds is an underhyped book. So what are we going to read for underhyped? I have a lot of hyped books right now on my shelf, honestly, because Bookstagram is the death of me. Okay, so for underhyped, I'm picking up this one, which I just grabbed at McKay's used bookstore because it was a Tor.com novella that sounded interesting. It's called Cadia, and I don't really know anything about it except that it's like it's like humans have had to leave Earth situation. So it's a tiny little novella. That works out great. Well, let's replace that one with even number of pages. Let me just knock it over. This thing is poorly supported. All right, so we are on draw number 5. And we have I don't know what the odds of that are. But this is literally the card that I just drew. So we're picking a book with an even number of pages. And we're also adding a 7th book because we pulled the how? So for even number of pages, I'm going to go with the Doll's Alphabet. It has 182 pages. And this is a short story collection from Fitzcarraldo Editions, which is our indie press project independent publisher for the month of July. And these are such pretty editions. This is actually from a moth box. For any of you that remember when Mercedes used to have a subscription box back in the day. And yeah, so I'm very excited to get to this one. It'll be a good pace breaker-upper because they're pretty short stories. So I'll be able to read a few of these a day or so. So that's going on the list. Always nice when I can get the Indie Press Project book on there because I didn't last month and then I didn't read it. So Gonna have to find somewhere during the year to read that to catch up. That was unexpected. Putting that back in there. Hopefully we won't see her again. We're replacing that with dark cover. All right. Let's shuffle again. We're gonna get 3 shuffles this time. And the 7 of Hearts. So 7 of Hearts is a book with one perspective. I had a harder time with book from one perspective than I thought I would. I really thought I didn't have that many books from multiple perspectives. But apparently I do, because all the ones that I was like, I want to read this, were from multiple perspectives. So I'm actually going to be reading these 2. So this is Persepolis. So volume 1 and volume 2. I technically only have to read volume 1, but I know once I read volume 1, I'm gonna want to go on to volume 2. So this is a graphic memoir, and yeah, so I'm gonna be reading this for one perspective. All right, now let's add that back in there, and we will replace that one with Reflective. This is not just another version of the foiled one. This is related to Storygraph. So there's an option on there for books that are reflective. This is what that would be. So let's draw what hopefully will be our last prompt. And we have a 5 of diamonds, which is a library book. That's okay, because I actually really need to read a couple of library books that I requested and that the library bought for me, but this doesn't do anything for my TBR list, my actual physical books on my shelf. For this one, I will be either reading Hani and Ishu's Guide to Fake Dating or The Passing Playbook. These are the 2 books that I had the library order, so I'll be reading one of the 2 of those, or potentially both of them. So this actually doesn't look too scary, even though technically this one doesn't belong in there, but I will also be adding The One-Armed Sister Sweeps Her House, as well as Psalms for Wild Built, and either Hani and Ishu, Fake Dating, Guide to Fake Dating, or The Passing Playbook. So there are 3 books missing from this. Still, all of them are relatively short this month. That was not intentional, but I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. So yeah, I'm excited about some different things this month. I feel like last month I had a lot of new releases, and then this month I have a lot of backlist things. So nice to switch it up a little bit sometimes. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Before I go, one thing I did notice, because I keep track of the cards, is that with the 7, so with the 7th draw, I ended up with 4 out of 7 being the same suit, which means that all of these are getting mixed back in here. Before I do that, I am going to replace the one on the board that I drew last. So, Storygraph Recommendation, which is also a new one I added last night, which would just be one of the books that comes up under my personal recommendations from Storygraph. But all of these are going back into the bag because, yeah, we drew more than half of the suits as the same suit. So, next month we will be starting with all of the prompts back in the bag, for better or for worse. All right, well, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I would love to hear if you have read any of these books, and I will see you guys next time.